For centuries, artists, poets, and scientists alike have been fascinated by the question: what makes a man physically attractive to women? While style, grooming, and confidence all play their part, research consistently points to one subtle but powerful factor: a man's body fat percentage. This single metric influences not just appearance, but the subconscious cues women pick up about health, strength, and genetic fitness. The science of attraction and body fat. From an evolutionary perspective, physical attraction is about more than looking good, it's about signaling survival and reproductive fitness. For men, body fat percentage plays a big role in that signal. Too high, and it can suggest poor health, low stamina, or metabolic issues. Too low, and it may indicate illness, hormonal imbalance, or insufficient resources to survive stress. In between lies the sweet spot, a range where the male body displays optimal muscular definition without looking overly depleted. Research suggests that for most women, the most attractive male body fat percentage tends to fall around 10 to 15%. This is the range that typically shows muscle shape, a strong jawline, and a lean waist, while still looking healthy and naturally attainable. Why this range works: 1. The waist-to-shoulder ratio body fat distribution affects proportions. Men in the 10 to 15% range often have a lower waist-to-shoulder ratio, meaning their shoulders are noticeably broader than their waist. This V-shape is universally associated with masculinity, strength, and genetic fitness. 2. Facial definition and hormone signals. Fat levels influence facial appearance. Lower fat around the jawline sharpens facial structure, which is subconsciously linked to higher testosterone levels. Women may interpret this as a sign of strong immune health and good genes. 3. Movement and energy. Men in this range tend to move more fluidly and with better posture, partly because they carry less unnecessary weight while maintaining muscle mass. Women often associate this combination with athleticism and vitality. 4. Health indicators. From a purely biological standpoint, moderate leanness without being emaciated suggests a healthy balance of hormones, a strong cardiovascular system, and efficient metabolism, all desirable in a mate from an evolutionary lens. The role of evolutionary psychology. In ancestral environments, a man's physique could serve as an instant status update on his ability to provide, protect, and endure hardship. Men with too much body fat may have seemed less able to endure physically demanding challenges, while those with extremely low fat could have appeared sickly or starving. The 10 to 15% range represents a balance between resource storage, enough energy reserves to handle scarcity, and mobility, strength, the ability to hunt, fight, or travel long distances. That balance is deeply wired into human mating instincts, even in the modern age where survival doesn't depend on spears and campfires. Media influence versus biological preference. It's worth noting that modern media sometimes distorts this natural attraction range. Movies and fitness magazines often showcase actors or models with body fat percentages as low as 6 to 8%, especially for superhero roles. While these physiques look striking on screen, they are often temporary and achieved through extreme dieting, dehydration, and lighting tricks, not sustainable everyday conditions. In reality, most women find overly shredded physiques less appealing in day-to-day life, often describing them as too extreme or intimidating. The natural sweet spot remains closer to the moderate, healthy range, which projects a mix of strength and approachability. Psychological layers of attraction. Physical attraction is never just about numbers. Body fat percentage interacts with posture, confidence, and the way a man carries himself. A man at 12% body fat who slouches and lacks energy may be less attractive than a man at 15% who exudes confidence, humor, and purpose. Still, the lean yet strong look enhances how clothing fits, how the body moves, and how facial expressions appear, all subtle cues women often respond to subconsciously. The effort signal. Another factor is the effort it takes to maintain a healthy physique. Reaching and sustaining 10 to 15% body fat typically requires a degree of discipline in diet and exercise. While not extreme, it's enough to signal self-care, resilience, and dedication, traits that are attractive in any long-term partner. From a subconscious standpoint, the body becomes a visual resume. It communicates that the man can set goals, follow through, and manage his health. Those qualities translate into perceived reliability and capability in other areas of life. When lower isn't better, some men mistakenly believe that getting as lean as possible will increase attraction. But dipping too far below 10% body fat can have the opposite effect. Extremely low fat can lead to hormonal imbalances, including lower testosterone, reduced energy and mood instability, a gaunt or stressed facial appearance, the impression of being overly preoccupied with physique. Instead of signaling peak health, it can hint at unsustainability or obsessive behavior, neither of which appeals to most women in the long run. Sustainable attraction. The real key to maintaining an attractive body fat percentage isn't chasing an exact number, but aiming for a lifestyle that naturally supports it. This includes strength training, building and maintaining muscle mass while keeping metabolism high, balanced diet, prioritizing whole foods, lean proteins, and healthy fats without excessive restriction, active living, incorporating movement outside of workouts, walking, sports, or hobbies that keep the body engaged, adequate rest, prioritizing recovery and sleep to support hormone balance. A man who lives in a way that sustains 10 to 15% body fat without obsession radiates a kind of effortless attractiveness that goes beyond the physical. Final thoughts. Women's natural draw toward men in this optimal body fat range is rooted in a complex mix of biology, psychology, and social cues. It's not about perfection, it's about balance. The lean but healthy look suggests vigor, resourcefulness, and discipline, all while remaining relatable and sustainable. In the end, the goal isn't just to hit a number on a body fat chart, but to embody the health, strength, and confidence that number represents. When those qualities shine through, attraction follows naturally.